Okay, so can I start? Yes. Okay, so welcome everyone to the second information session on the SCALE'HER Accelerator that is implemented within the SCALE'HER project. My name is Lucia Davidová. I work for a Slovak-based consultancy, which is named AdSen. We are a partner of this Horizon Europe project, which is called SCALE'HER, and we are very happy that you are here with us today to get more information on this program. So first, maybe some housekeeping rules. As already Emily mentioned, the session is recorded. It will be published on YouTube, so it will be accessible for you in case of interest. And please, if you will have any question during our session, please put them in the chat, or there will be specific space for Q&A for you to ask anything you will be interested in. So maybe we can go to the agenda. Next slide, please. So brief overview of the agenda. So first, we'll introduce you what SCALE'HER, what's this initiative about. Then we will introduce you specifically SCALE'HER Accelerator. Then we'll say something about application and selection process, and there will be space for you to ask questions. Okay, we can go to the next slide. So maybe we can, next slide, please. So we can start maybe with why, or the challenge that was ahead of us before we started this initiative. So women-led deep tech companies represent less than 25% of the market, and yet they receive less than 2% of venture capital funding. And in the sector that drives technologies of tomorrow, in deep tech sectors such as biotech, climate tech, space, this is not just a fairness issue, it's an economic issue and tremendous waste of talent. And this was the main motivation behind the SCALE'HER initiative and SCALE'HER project. We can go to the next slide. So this is a very brief introduction of the SCALE'HER project. So as you can see, we are funded from Horizon Europe. It's a 30-month project started in July 2025. It has 10 partners from 9 countries. As you can see on the map, on the left-hand side of the slide, we cover both less developed, both more developed economic regions and innovation ecosystems. However, we cover with our activities also countries that are not directly represented by the partners. Now, and now it's time maybe, and maybe a couple of words on how we work. So SCALE'HER initiative is based on basically 4 pillars. So we are community driven. So we try to connect investors, startups, and accelerators in one network. We link both innovation leaders and emerging regions, as I already said. We cover several sectors. We'll be talking about that, specifically 6 sectors. And we also partner with EU initiatives and alliances in our program. We can go to the next slide. So these are main pillars of the SCALE'HER project. So the first one is SCALE'HER Acceleration Program that will be introduced in a very short time by Diane. And one of its unique part is blind audition pitch competition. And then there are 2 parallel activities that goes together. And these are outreach activities. These will be mainly for the founders inside our program, but they will be open also to external participants. It will be events like Missions for Innovation, International Community Summits, and Women Entrepreneur Roadshow. And these all will be organized on our SCALE'HER digital platform that will include personalized dashboards. It will enable communication and networking among participants of the accelerator and mentors and experts inside the program. So we can go to the next slide. Yes, and now I would like to welcome my colleague in the project, Diane Nevin from GRID, International Female Accelerator, to present you the SCALE'HER Acceleration Program. Diane, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Lucia. Good afternoon, everybody. We're delighted to have you here and appreciate your time. And I'm going to introduce the program structure. So next slide, please. So an overview of the program is that we aim to support 60 women-led deep tech ventures. So you should be at a stage of a TRL level between 6 to 9. So that's post-validation and you're looking to scale. The duration of the program, it's a 6-month accelerator program. And towards the latter end of the program, we start the 3-month mentoring phase. So around month 5, based on everything that you've learned within the program, As a mentee, you fill out your mentee requirements and we match you with an industry leader in your industry. So the program builds on 3 critical capabilities. 1 is your capital and fundraising execution. 2 is your financial leadership, and 3 is your market and partnerships. So they're the 3 critical capabilities that we work on throughout the program. The structure of the program overall, it's delivered through a blended delivery model. So we work on cluster workshops. So obviously 60 founders is quite a large cohort. So we break them into smaller groups. And then we also have expert panels. So we work with investors, hear key learnings. We also look at corporates and how they want to work and engage with founders, mandates, future mandates in the future, and webinars. So we look again around the technical knowledge, how it's delivered. And then we have the peer learning sessions, which is really important. So I think we'll all agree, while it's really important to hear from industry leaders, it's also equally important to hear from the cohorts, your peer-to-peer learning, and this can be delivered again through networking sessions like virtual coffees, and really learning and engaging overall. The monthly delivery model again is week 1 is clustered workshops. So week 1 we work specifically on workshops. Work 3 then again we hear from the expert panels, as I mentioned, and webinars, and monthly peer networking overall. So that's the delivery of the structured model. And next slide please, Lucia. So the journey, the capital execution pathway, is that each month answers a key question. So we look at capital strategy, fundraising structure, your investor confidence, investor readiness, capital deployment, and deal readiness. So you can see that a key area is that really, as a deep tech industry and working within that industry, raising funds is extremely important. So we have a huge emphasis on the program of introducing you to investors and making sure that you're ready to go on through your next funding journey overall. So next slide, please. So we also have additional components within the program. And again, as I mentioned, the 3-month one-to-one mentoring with top experts will start at the end of the program. So some accelerators, you start working with a mentor perhaps in month 1 or month 2. The reason we worked this strategically is that we feel that in order for you to really get the benefit that we will have worked through all the different areas throughout the accelerator program. And at that stage, you should have a clearer vision of where you want to bring your company and who would be a best fit for you in different industries. It might be somebody out of your industry entirely. You might want to work around your fundraising, for example. You might want to work, it might be something around your IP in a more technology area. So we do fit you with your requirements, which is really important. And then we also have the blind pitch competition. And the objective really around this is the bias reduced evaluation. So I'll talk to you now a little bit more around that in the next slide. Lucia, please. Yeah. So this is the blind pitch competition, and it's something that we're extremely interested, and passionate, and developed this actual overall development pathway. And the reason is that we want to really work on the bias, the subconscious bias that we hear a lot in terms of female founders face on every given time that they actually do pitch. So it's developed over a 5-stage development pathway. And the first stage is the pre-competition workshop. So as 60 founders, you're invited into a mandatory online onboarding. So we'll walk you through, in terms of the blind format, the scoring criteria, your pitch deck, the structure of your pitch deck, and what investors will be looking for. So we prepare you in advance, and then we invite you into round 1, which is the blind pitch competition. So 60 founders will be anonymous. So you'll work with an avatar, in terms of you won't have any information. The investor won't have received any personal information from you as a founder. And then you will do a 3-minute pitch in terms of the structure that we've provided, again, and the pre-competition workshop, across 4 Zoom rooms with 2 independent investors per room, and you'll be scored on the criteria that we'll have shared above, and the top 3 from each room will advance into round 2. So there will be 12 founders going into round 2, and what round 2 entails is that you will be matched up with a specific mentor around a 4-week structured program. So you'll work with that mentor fortnightly, 1-to-1. And in order to advance to round 4, you will actually submit a written business development assignment. So that's basically on the learnings and the work that you will have done over the 4-week structured program. And from that, 6 will be advanced to the semi-final. So the semi-final, you'll sit with, an in-depth Q&A with 2 investors and 1 senior mentor. So this particular stage, you'll be tested on your strategic depth and investor readiness, and you can provide a comprehensive overview of the update of where you are as you've worked through the challenges within the program itself. And then 3 will be selected from this process to go into the final. And the final will be a 2-day retreat. So you'll be working in a 2-day retreat. The country at the moment will share at a later stage, but you will be working an in-person retreat around your individual challenges sessions. So evaluators will score the quality again around your thinking, your venture readiness, and again, how are you going to go through the process long term and raise investment? And I guess the winner and the outcome, it's going to be very specific, hyper-focused, strategic mentorship of where you want to be throughout the program over the next period of time. So again, we're really excited to introduce the blind pitch competition. It has a lot of structures and layers within the program, and we feel that it's very comprehensive and in-depth, and there are key assets and supports that will help you scale within your business. And the next slide, please. So the outcomes for founders: as a participant, you will gain clear fundraising strategy and a roadmap, investor ready, your data room, the narrative around that. You'll have a stronger input around financials and governance structure. And again, your confidence in investor negotiations, because you will have engaged on a one-to-one basis in workshops overall. You'll certainly have a key understanding of all these areas and how you should negotiate around investment. And you'll also have access to an EU-wider network. And the next slide, please, Lucia. So again, the key facts to the program is that there is no equity taken, there's no participation fee, no guaranteed funding, and the time commitment is as little as 4 to 5 hours per month. So we feel that we've built an exceptional program, and we co-designed it with people from within the deep tech industries, investors, industry founders, and it really is an exceptional program that we aim to deliver to founders. And again, we're delighted to have you to share the overall key factors of the program. So that's it on my end. So I will hand back over to Lucia.
Thank you very much, Diane. So now let's go to the application process and selection. So basically who we are looking for, what are the selection criteria, and how to apply. So we can go to the next slide. So the first information, we already mentioned something of that. Who's the SCALE'HER Accelerator for? So basically we designed it for women founders or co-founders in C-level position of deep tech companies. And women should hold at least 25% of the company shares at the time of application. Your venture should be SME established in European Union or Horizon Europe associated countries. The list of countries will be or is available on this link. You will receive this presentation, so you can then check whether this country fits within this criteria. And your company should build on advanced science or engineering with validated technology at TRL level from 6 to 9. At the same time, you should be moving beyond technical validation toward market deployment and growth, and should be currently raising capital or preparing to raise within the next 12 months. This means that you are definitely making critical decisions about capital structure, runway, governance, partnerships, and scaling strategy. And the time commitment to participate is approximately 4 to 5 hours per month over 6 months, followed by a structured mentoring phase. So we think that it's pretty doable for founders. Yes, next slide, please. So we mentioned in several times that our accelerator is specifically for deep tech company. So we should now be talking a little bit about what is deep tech. So basically, deep tech companies are companies that have long and uncertain development cycles. So the path from lab to market takes years, not months, and are very need a lot of capital. So there is high capital intensity. So they need significant investments before commercial revenues are there. Then they have tangible technological differentiation. So that means that the core of the business is a proprietary technology, not a platform or service layer. They are defensible through patents, proprietary know-how, regulatory positioning, or structural barriers to entry. And their scaling is non-linear. It grows or follows milestone-based technical validation through progression on TRL scale or regulatory approvals or pilot rollouts rather than linear revenue growth. So what is not deep tech? So these are just examples to understand that, for example, pure software or SaaS with no underlying scientific IP is not a deep tech, or also consultancy or service-based models are not deep tech. So the basic question that each founder that would like to apply for the program should ask are whether the technology itself is hard, defensible, science-based, or whether the innovation is in the business model, distribution, or user experience. If it's the latter, then it's likely not deep tech. We can go to the next slide. Great. So these are the 6 domains that I already mentioned. So this is the domain focus of our accelerator, but these domains cover practically all the major deep tech sectors that are there. So it's health and life sciences, environment and sustainability, digital technologies, transport and mobility, engineering, advanced materials and space, and agri-tech and food tech. We can go to the next slide. Yes, and now we will talk about a little bit about selection criteria. So how applicants are evaluated. So the first, there is the eligibility check. So the eligibility criteria I have already presented to you. And then the qualitative criteria will be assessed around these core 3 dimensions. The first one is technological risk and differentiation, which has weight 40%, then market risk and strategic relevance, and then execution readiness and acceleration fit. You can get maximum score for your application 5 points. We can go to the next slide. So the first dimension is technological risk and differentiation. This is the core deep tech dimension and carries the highest weight. So it contains a set of questions grouped around topics such as degree of scientific or engineering novelty, technical complexity and defensibility. So what is your IP? What is your know-how? What are regulatory barriers? Then the credibility of the development roadmap, and whether we would like to know whether there is clarity around remaining technical risks. There is also qualitative threshold you should pass in this criterion, which is 3 points. And here on the right-hand side of this slide, you can see the example of scoring for each of the questions when the average score is counted and weighted. Finally, we can go to the next slide. Just to say, for this first criterion, it needs to be clear that pre-revenue or early stage commercial validation doesn't reduce score if technical differentiation is strong and credible. So dimension number 2 is market risk and strategic relevance. This dimension evaluates whether the technology addresses a meaningful and structurally relevant opportunity. High scores may be awarded to companies operating in emerging or frontier markets, even where immediate commercial traction is limited. So we will assess criteria such as long-term market potential and structural demand drivers, evidence of industry pool, whether there are any paid pilots, letters of interest, strategic partnerships or regulatory progress in place. And we will also assess the alignment with the European strategic priorities, such as technological sovereignty, green transition, digital transformation, and others. So there's also the example of how the scoring can be done. And yes, okay, we can go to dimension number 3. This dimension evaluates whether the venture is positioned to benefit from our accelerators. So we will assess execution readiness and acceleration fit. So we would like to see whether there are clearly articulated fundraising timelines, round size, and milestone, whether there is milestone linkage, whether there is coherent capital allocation plan, whether there are key strategic bottlenecks identified and near-term decisions defined, whether there is team complementarity, and whether the founder is aware of governance issues, and whether there is strong alignment between founder expectations and program's capital execution focus. There is also a minimum quality threshold, which is 1.25, and on the right-hand side you can see the example of scoring, where the total score, average score for these questions doesn't reach the quality threshold, so that's why then the application cannot be main listed, unfortunately. Okay, we can go to the next slide. Okay, so now these are information on how to apply. The application process is very simple and straightforward. First, we advise you to check your eligibility. If there is anything unclear, you can find all the information compiled in the SCALE'HER Accelerator application guidelines. Then if you fit within the eligibility criteria, you can prepare your application materials. So first you can check the application form beforehand, and then if you are okay with that, with the time that's needed to fill in the application, it can be maximum 10 to 20 minutes. Then you can apply directly by filling in the online Google form. And the part of the application is also the pitch deck and a very short founder video. It can be done with your mobile phone. So the step 3 is to fill in the application and submit it through Google Forms. We can go to the next slide. So these are the important dates. So we are having the call deadline of 31st of May. So you have still 9 days to apply. The evaluation and communication of results will be sent to you in June, and the acceleration phase will start in September, will end in February next year, and then after that, the mentoring phase will start and will last for 3 months. These are the links to useful documents, which are application guidelines, but you can also find the answers in frequently asked questions. Yes, we can go to the next slide. Yes, and this is also information that we are also looking for not only founders, but also experts into the program, because as Diane presented, the program will be composed of workshops, webinars, panels. So for all of these type of events, we are looking for experts and mentors. We can go to the next slide. Basically, what we would like to... Next slide, please. Basically, we are looking for deep tech facilitators and technical mentors, VC and investor partners, industry panelists, and webinar speakers, and experienced founder mentors. We already have a large database of potential experts, but this is also information for you that if you know in your network someone who would fit this profile, especially if there will be some, for example, CFOs and financial executives, people having experience with capital deployment, or corporate and industry executives or regulatory specialists, if there is someone in your network, you can let him or her know and tell her or him that there is the application process still open and they can apply still until June. So we can go to the next slide, and I think that's it from my side. Here you can see all the important links, contact email, but also links where you find more information. And now I think it's time for your questions. So I don't know whether we have any questions in the chat, or if not, you can still unmute and ask live. If I could speak more slowly. Sorry, I'm reading that already now. But yes, as we mentioned in the beginning, the session is recorded and will be published on YouTube, so you can rewatch once again. Sorry for that. Yes, Alice, your hand is raised. Maybe we can stop sharing to see each other. Yes, Alice, the floor is yours, please.
Hello, thank you very much for the presentation. I already applied. I just wanted to check if I had I was eligible. I am a freelancer. I didn't found my company yet, but I already have a team. I already have a prototype L6, I believe, and I already applied. So my question is, was it wrong or is it okay?
Yes, Alice, thank you for your question. Basically, we will do the selection process starting in June. So first, the application phase needs to end, but maybe just to comment on the status, if you're a freelancer, I'm afraid it won't be possible to apply, because what we need are SMEs, so like the companies, already established companies. This is based on the recommendations that we have from European Union. So this is not positive information for you.
And if I want to apply as a speaker,
then it's possible. Then it's possible. You can go to the scale.eu page, and we have there also also open call for experts. And there you can find the application form, and please apply. For the experts, you can let us know in the application form for which topic you would like to apply, whether you're interested to participate in webinar as a speaker or panel participant, or maybe to run a workshop. So feel free to apply.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Alice. Yes, are there any more questions? Maybe I can check the chat. Are there any commitments expected after the completion of the program? I don't think so. The completion of the accelerator is in February, and then there you will have your mentor assigned. With mentor, you will work until I think it's May, and then there are no commitments that we await from your side. Yes, Alejandra?
Hello. I would like to ask some question about, for example, if in our case we are between TRL 5 to 6 in some aspect of the technology, but also in related of the product coming from this technology, we are more like TRL 6. So we are in between these two levels. Is possible to apply, or we just estimate this year and we go to the next call, for example?
Diane, would you like to take this?
Yeah, Alexandra, I would certainly encourage you to apply. So if you're still at that stage where you're transferring over to TRL 6, depending on, again, the other criteria that it is a deep tech company and all of the other requirements, please submit your application.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, we have another question in the chat regarding the application video. Could you clarify the expected format and content? Format, it should be simple video done with your mobile phone. What would you like to see or hear is maybe your motivation. Why would you like to apply for the program? And maybe very short introduction with a couple of sentences of what is your innovation, what you do. That's it, basically. Nothing complicated. Okay, thank you, Lucy, for submitting the links to expert application. So you can find the link also in the chat, and also you can find there a link for the application for founders. Is the list of mentors available? Not yet, because we are still recruiting mentors. The application phase for mentors recruitment is 5th of basically beginning of June. So we are not still publishing who's in, because the application process is on, but we will publish it as soon as we have them ready. Are there any more questions? Anything which was unclear?
There's a question there about the blind pitch competition.
Okay.
Is it a separate thing from the Accelerator mentoring program? Yes, it's a component within the program. So you will be going from round to round. So it's a component within the Accelerator program, but in the sense it is a separate component to the structure of the workshops and the webinars and the networking itself.
But if you want to participate in Blind Pitch, you need to apply for the accelerator. So you need to fill in the application form for the accelerator, and there you can indicate that you are also interested in participation in Blind Pitch competition. We have a question in the chat. Is mental health field eligible or biotech only? Dan, would you take this?
Now, of course, if mental health dependent, if it falls again into a deep tech, that it's an innovation that you're creating within it and it does fit all of the requirements, it can be in any particular industry. It just needs to fall into either the deep tech industry, the engineering factor overall. So if you have any clarification, I would recommend that you read the frequently asked questions or reach out to us for more specific questions.
Yes, Joanna, please.
Yes, hello. I would like to ask, we are tier 9 status. We have a platform, a solution for a European Union regulatory compliance. I'm sorry, but I am moving. I'm in a car, so maybe it's not sound is not okay. And I would like to ask, what in what field are you going to support us, since we are already out in the Greek market with our solution?
Dan, maybe would you like to take this or?
Sure. Unfortunately, you broke up quite a bit. But again, I would suggest and encourage you to read the program in terms of our deliveries. So again, we're focused on all of the areas in terms of investment readiness, investment confidence, financial structure. So they're the areas that you want and really need to use in terms of your business structure to scale. And again, really important is your mentorship. So the mentorship matching you with industry experts that you really need to get you to that next stage. So they're all of the areas that we support you as a female founder in deep tech within your industry overall.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
We have a question in the chat. We have a technology with more than one related sector, agri-food and climate tech. Would it be possible to change the sector after joining the accelerator program? I don't think it's a problem, but yeah, now when you're applying for the accelerator, please indicate one of these sectors. I'm not now quite sure whether it's multiple choice option with only one selection possible. If not, you can indicate as many sectors as are relevant. If yes, please indicate one of these, and then based on the numbers of founders from each sectors, we are going to distribute them into several cohorts, because the workshops will be delivered for cohorts. So for less number, approximately 20 founders per cohort, to be more like hands-on, and we will be communicating these cohorts together with you. So then I think it's possible to change the cohort if yeah, based on our communication then. Dan, do you have anything to add or?
No, I totally agree. I would encourage you to apply through one sector, and if there's changes throughout, and it's something that you can discuss with your mentor overall, or any sort of changes that you feel you need to make within your business throughout the program.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we have another question. When will you notify experts, mentors, if they're selected? Well, we try to do it in the course of June. We'll see whether we will keep the application form for experts still open, but for the experts that already applied, we'll try to do that as soon as possible. We will also need to see whether we have all the experts that we need, or whether we will need to start looking for some specific expertise based on their profiles. Thank you. Okay, we still have some time. But still, if you will have more questions in next days, you can contact us on that email address that's in the presentation. Emily, if you can just confirm if you're able to send the email through Luma with PowerPoint slides.
I think so. Yes.
And also link to YouTube recording.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the presentation and everything will be online anyway, and and you will have the links through our social media. So please do not hesitate to subscribe, to follow the SCALE'HER project on LinkedIn. You will have all the updates on the accelerator program, but as well on the next actions as well. So yes, I think we've said it all.
Thank you. Okay, so maybe one last call for the questions. If there are any more questions, please let us know. Okay, it seems that not. So maybe Diane, couple of closing words.
Sure, we'll wrap up. Just thank you all for taking the time. I think we have another message there, do we? Oh, thanks a lot. You're very welcome. We just want to thank you, as founders and industry experts, to take the time to participate and to learn a little bit more about the program. We've worked a lot this last year with a huge range of key stakeholders within the ecosystem, and we're very proud and feel that we have the right program for female founders and the right fit for you to scale where you need to be at the next stage of your business in deep tech. So I would strongly encourage you to read the frequently asked questions, go over and then submit your application. But if there's something that you're still unsure about, that is not very clear within the frequently asked questions, please reach out to us. We do encourage you to submit your application because it's very hard for us to gauge whether or not you're the right fit unless we have all of the information. So please submit. And again, once the applications is closed, we will try and reach out to you in a very timely manner with the date of whether your application has been accepted. And that's it overall. And we hope to work with you and support you in the near future. So thank you once again. We appreciate it.
So thank you very much. And we're looking forward to seeing many of you inside.
Thank you.
Okay, goodbye. Have a nice day.
Bye.